This guy is his teacher, his sifu in spirituality, has taught him a lot of stuff. Not only is this guy looking deep into, I'm going to ask him if it's numerology or is it gematria, whatever it is. We're going to get a little inside scoop onto this. And not only is this guy understand the numbers, but from what I've been told, he just went Ocean's 11 on some sporting books, dude. Took them from some cold hard cash, and now he's just chilling like a champion. You know him as Gary the Numbers Guy. Please welcome Gary Grinberg, everybody. How are you, Gary?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Gary, thanks for coming on. You're a man of mystery, and we appreciate you coming on and putting a face to the Twitter account. We appreciate you. You're a man of numbers. You have big influences on everybody. But I want to get into real quick numerology. That's the word of the day on this show today. What is numerology, and how'd you get into numerology?
Numerology is basically the study of energy behind what all the numbers represent. The way I got into numerology was 9/11.
Wow.
9/11 is the event that got me in there. And, you know, when that day happened, I was brainwashed like all the other sheep. And I'm like, oh, Osama bin Laden did this. But after I started looking at a few things, the numbers just didn't make sense. Like, for instance, the first plane to hit the World Trade Center was Flight 11. It happened on the 11th. And then you start going deeper, like New York City, 11 letters. New York, the 11th state. The Twin Towers look like an 11 side by side. They both had 110 stories. So at this point, you start saying, when is enough enough? When is this not a coincidence anymore? And what I remembered, because I was always a history buff, I loved history. And I remembered that World War I ended at exactly 11/11 at 11 o'clock. So they made sure they ended it at exactly that time, not 10:55, not 11:05, but 11/11 at exactly 11 o'clock. At that point, I knew there was something behind this. I knew that the people in positions of power were using this for something, and I just didn't know what it was at the time. Well, now it's, 2019, 18 years later, I'm well aware of what these guys are doing now.
So it's very interesting because, like, someone that isn't like a fifth degree black belt in conspiracies like myself, Johnny's kind of got a green belt right now. We're kind of bringing him through it. But when Johnny hears these numbers, I could already see in his eyes he's a little skeptical, right, Johnny?
I'm skeptical of everything until I've seen proof. So, yeah, sure.
And I'm the same way, but let me throw some things at you. Al-Qaeda, the group they blamed for 9/11, was founded August 11th. They had 3 major attacks in the world. One in America on 9/11, one in Madrid, Spain on March 11th, and the other one in Mumbai, India on the 11th. So again, the major terrorist organization of our time, Al-Qaeda, performs the 3 biggest terrorist attacks on the 11th, and they're founded on the 11th. What point does this stop being a coincidence?
See, when I hear this, yeah, dude, I hear this stuff, it just makes me think more and more that this is just like Matrix shit, and those numbers coming down is just data.
That's my question. Are you suggesting more that these are all coordinated by people, or that this is evidence of some kind of simulation that has numerology built into it?
Number one, this is a virtual reality. There's no doubt about that. That there's 100%, not 99, but 100. But I am telling you that there are people in positions of power in the world that make sure certain things happen on certain dates. For instance, when you look at big events, they usually drop them on the 11th. What was that racist rally that happened in a couple years ago in North Carolina? What was that called?
Charlottesville in Virginia, you mean?
Yeah, where they were marching with the hoods.
Charlottesville,
and,
that was Charlottesville in Virginia, yeah.
Okay, so that event happened on the 11th. They made sure to stage that event on the 11th because the 11th is all about emotional energy. So they want people to get very emotional under certain days.
Hold on, real quick. You've mentioned this emotional energy. What is that? What is emotional energy?
It's basically some people are more emotional than others. And some days, because of the vibrational energy, affects people in a way where they're more emotional than they would usually be. Like, for instance, a big alpha male guy for some reason starts crying. He doesn't even know why. Maybe it happened because of a certain day. So my point is, on 11 days, and that's, for instance, anything that adds up to an 11, or the 11th or the 29th, because 2 and 9 is 11, you can expect the people in positions of power to do certain things because they want an emotional reaction from people. I'm sure you guys are conspiracy theorists, so you understand how they do things. First, they cause the problem, then they offer the solution. So what they do is they make sure to get people emotionally tangled in a problem on a certain day so they can come back and offer the solution they want. It's all based on numerology and astrology. Now, let me give you an example of how astrology and numerology are way above science.
Okay.
Now,
I'm dying to hear all this.
I love science. I think science is extremely important, but astrology and numerology, in some cases, have been 500 years ahead of this stuff. The one example I would give you is astrologers for centuries said whenever it was a full moon, people acted crazy. Whenever it's a full moon, that's where you got the lunatic, because people act crazy in the full moons. Even police will tell you this. They get crazy phone calls under full moons. Well, the reason this is because 70% of the human body is water, liquid.
Yes.
So what happens is when you have a full moon, it pulls on the tides. So logic would tell you that it would pull under humans in a way as well. That's why humans react, and I'm not saying all of them, but a certain percentage of them act very crazy around full moons. Because just like the moon is pulling on the tides, it's pulling on our liquid energy within us. So that shows you that the astrologers knew this 500-600 years ago. The science only caught up to this, I don't know, what 50-100 years ago. So again, it shows you just one example of how the astrologers and numerologists were centuries ahead of science in some ways.
There are so many numbers, right?
You used to be able to use that in the court of law. Back in the day, it was a full moon type of shit. Like, and that's where the werewolf came from. You used to act crazy, and it used, like he says, we're made out of water. You know how it moves the tide. It's supposed to do that too.
So that was somebody's legal defense.
Yeah,
I went crazy because of a full moon, and be like, not guilty.
Yeah, I just found it right here. It's called the full moon defense.
God, I need
that
to
was
use
back
that.
in the day. Yeah, try that.
I need to use that a lot. So we have 11s. Are there any other big numbers out there that basically say, okay, these are some these numbers have mystical powers?
I wouldn't say mystical powers is the right term. I would say every number is attached with a certain vibrational energy that affects some people depending on their energy in a positive or a negative manner. I'll start with this one. 8 is the number of money. Okay. 8 is the number of karma. 8 is the number of power. So I'll give you an example. The Chinese, they know 8 is the number of money. That's why they started their Olympic Games on August 8th, 2008 at exactly 8:08 p.m. So if you add up the date, 8 plus 8 plus 2608 adds up to 26. 2 and 6 is 8. So they started their Olympic Games under all 8 energy. Within 2 years, they went from the 5th biggest economy in the world to the 2nd. Now, you're going to notice all over Twitter, people are starting to price their products not for $79.99, but for $80, for 62, because 6 and 2 is 8, for 53, because 5 and 3 is 8. That's a movement I started my own influence, because when you price products in 8s, that's going to attract money. So what you guys need to do is start selling your shirts, start selling all your advertising for stuff that adds up in 8s, whether it be 35, because 3 and 5 is 8, or 80. That's how you do it. I'm telling you, it works.
Okay, so I'm selling my T-shirts right now for $20. How much you think I should sell them for?
26. You got to move. Guess what? I know it's more expensive when you're thinking I'm going to lose sales, but the number actually attracts money. And I've given thousands of clients readings with the same advice, and I've gotten nothing but positive reviews. Look at all these clowns on Twitter who attack me, say I'm a fraud, yet they're using the same system I put out there.
Can you do 17?
Yeah, of course. 1 and 7 is 8, right?
Yeah. I mean,
there you go. Like, for instance,
yes, with 26 or 17, that's the closest.
Yeah.
I got to think about that, dude, but I'm going to try it, dude. I'm going to try it.
Yesterday was the 8th. Okay.
Yeah.
So whenever it's the 8th, I gamble heavy. So I hit the casino yesterday for 170,000 on parlays.
Oh my
And
God,
I'm not a
dude.
fraud because I posted the freaking tickets on Twitter because that fraud word does go around a lot. So once you post those tickets, people shut up.
Okay,
Can't make those.
I want to get more into the numbers, but I want to know more about you, Gary. It's like, so 9/11's the first time you started noticing numbers, or was it nothing when you were a kid? It's just you're like, whoa, bam, 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 and then. So where do you go from there? Like, where do you go? Like, okay, hit at 11, the flight's 11, the buildings look like 11. Where's this Siddhartha numerology journey that you go on to find the true meaning of these numbers?
Well, the next step was after 9/11 happened, Afghanistan happened. Afghanistan has 11 letters. Afghanistan was attacked 10/7/2001. Take out the zeros. 1721 adds up to an 11 again.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah, I'm telling you, this stuff goes deep, bro. For instance, remember Hurricane Katrina? That happened on the 29th. 2 and 9 is 11. Most of worst hurricanes, most of biggest stock market crashes always happen around the 29th. I believe it was October 29th. 1929, the stock market crashed again on the 29th. So it doesn't matter if it's financial, it doesn't matter if it's sports oriented or a world event. Big events happen under master numbers, and master numbers in numerology consist of 11, 22, and 33.
Oh my God. Johnny, you're a skeptic. What do you think? I believe all this stuff. I love this stuff. I want to study this.
I think, it's fascinating for sure. I would, if I was you, I would take a few of the shirts and price them that way, and then leave the others as they are, and see if it helps.
All right, I'm not against that. I'm not against that. I'm not against that.
You know the movie Number 23?
Yeah.
Was that made by Hollywood to make people that into numerology look fucking crazy?
100%. That was a hit on me. As a matter of fact, why don't you put in on YouTube ESPN the number 22, and ESPN did a hit piece on me. They won't say my name, but it was about me. They're trying to make me look like some freaking
Hold
fool.
on. Are you talking about that Chicago's number video where they
the one about Cleveland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a hit piece on me.
Why do you think that's on you, dude? That's so crazy. Why? I love that video. You didn't like it?
Well, first of all, they made me seem like some crazy living in the basement, not knowing what the hell, because I was the first one who reported LeBron James would sign with the Lakers because I got students in the NBA who leaked information to me. So after that happened, they wanted to get back at me. So it is what it is. Listen, let me give you one more example when it comes to financial numerology. While 8 is the number of money, 28 is the number of wealth. So why don't you guys pull up an ad for Rolex, and you're going to see all they do is they price all the dates that they have their advertising in, that little clock, they're going to show the 28 right by it. Or the fact that the richest people in the world, like Bill Gates, Carlos Slim, are born on the 28th.
I'm born on the 28th, Johnny. I'm rich.
Nice job.
No, it doesn't necessarily mean you're rich, but what it does mean is whenever you need money, somehow, some way it comes to you, and you probably thought it was dumb luck your whole life.
What about the 18th? Is that anything?
No.
18th means you have a very adaptive personality. You can pretty much go with the flow. Things of that.
Like Johnny.
Doesn't sound like me at all, actually.
Johnny, you just don't know you yet. The numbers know. You don't know you.
I would rather have the money birthday, if I'm being honest.
Well, change you, dude.
Hey, next time, brother. Remember, just a few more examples. I want to give you one. Steve Jobs was born 2/24/1955. Adds up to 28. He founded Apple on April 1st, 1976, which adds up to 28. And he incorporated Apple January 3rd, 1977, which adds up to 28. Apple is the richest company in the world. Why? Because they're funded under 28 energy. This stuff works.
God dang, dude. What's your birthday day?
February 1st.
Is there anything with number 1?
Yeah, but people born on the 1st like to argue a lot.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Do they get
have to
weird
learn-
haircuts?
They have to learn things the hard way. That's they always stubborn people have to learn things the hard way.
So let me ask you something, dude. The big reason why I kind of I saw I don't know if it was Nick Hinton retweeted you, but I saw a tweet you put out about the number 33. What's that about? Because you blew my mind with that. I'm like, oh my God. Oh, you got it on? I thought maybe you were a Larry Bird fan or something like that. My favorite player of all time is 33, Patrick Ewing.
Yes, sir. When it comes down to the number 33, 33 is known as the master teacher, the one, like, for instance, Jesus died at 33. Well, the number is more important than the man. 33 is associated with influence, whether it's from behind the scenes or not. And when you look at the number 33, what you basically have to understand about it is the 33s are here to teach. I'm basically a teacher. That's what I do. I'm a well-paid teacher because I found my own way, but as a 33 life path, you're basically a very old soul. You've been reincarnated quite a few times. So I'll give you some examples of 33s. Einstein was a 33. The guy who invented the NBA was a 33 life path. How many freaking games do you have where you can throw a ball through a hoop, but basketball's popular because a 33 life path invented the game? One of the Wright brothers was a 33 life path, founded flight. Edison was a 33 life path, figured out electricity. So when it comes to 33s, they're the trailblazers in life. Well, they're the ones who basically figure things out that other people cannot.
Well, the highest rank in Masons are 33.
That's because when water is below 33 degrees, it freezes. But once it goes above 33, it becomes a liquid form. So what they're basically trying to tell you by the Freemason order going up to 33 is after you hit that 33rd degree, you become enlightened.
Wow.
You're not frozen.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. There's so many 33s out there. Sports people. What else?
Vinyl LPs spin at 33 RPMs, right?
Oh, my God. See, dude, I'm telling people, man, the world is so much more interesting than anybody even knows. And they all fight over dumb stuff. And they don't realize, like, there's, like, dude, the more and more I think about, the more and more I believe, like, this is a matrix, dude, we live in. It's like the movie was a doc that we just don't realize it.
Well, we've said this already, but Club 33 at Disney.
Oh, my God, yeah. Club 33.
It's the only one. It takes forever. You got to drop like $10K just to even get in the sign-up list. You
got to put $10K people just to get on the list?
Something like that. It's real expensive. Like, it's...
God damn,
you can't take pictures in there at all.
This is unbelievable to me. Are there any other? So we got 8. We got what was the other?
33, 8.
And what was the number
11.
20, 8, 33, 11. Are there any other amazing ones?
I mean, every number represents something else. I'll give you one example. Most athletes tend to be 1s or 11s. They always say, well, what does Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan have in common? Well, they're both 11 life paths. That's why they both have that killer instinct, but LeBron James never did because he's not an 11 life path. Going back to LeBron.
What does that mean by life path or life? Or
like for instance, LeBron James is born 12/30/1984. You add up all the numbers 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 9, 8, 4 adds up to 28. 2 and 8 is 10. 1 and 0 is 1. So you reduce it to single digits unless it reduces down to an 11, 22, or 33, which are considered master numbers. Master numbers and the numbers 1 through 9. Think of them as AM and FM radio on a completely different wavelength. So what you have to understand is every number has its positives and its negatives. Like, for instance, a lot of people who are 1 life paths have trouble with alcohol. A lot of people who were born on the 1st, 10th, 1928 have trouble with alcohol. They probably, they shouldn't drink too much. When it comes down to people who are born on the 1st, 10th, 1928, well, guess what? they're born leaders. 1 is the number of male energy, which is interesting because if you look at all the women in society who always talk about, we're being suppressed, all this other stuff. Most of women like Sheryl Sandberg, who is CFO of Facebook, most of all the women on Shark Tank, they're all ones. So basically, yes, they're women, but that 1 is male energy, which is why they're the ones actually making it as women, because they act and think like men.
Whoa.
Men who are born on the 2nd tend to be beta males. Not saying this is true for all cases, but a lot of people born on the 2nd tend to be very, very feminine. I'll give you an example. Britney Spears is not the best looking girl in the world, but she got very famous. Lindsay Lohan is not the best looking girl in the world, but she got very famous. Why? Because they're both born on the 2nd, and 2 is feminine energy. So when guys and girls see them, they automatically get tapped into that feminine energy subconsciously without even knowing it. And that's why people in positions of power push them, because they knew they had the birthdays to do it. Another example, the royal family. Almost everyone in the royal family is like an 11 life path. So they're obviously having C-sections to make sure these guys are all 11.
Shit.
Shit.
And guess what? I do the same thing because my kids were born on, my first kid's in 11 too. So I made sure he had a C-section on a certain day because I wanted to make sure that he was set up for life, at least financially. I'm not saying money is everything in life, but if you're born on a certain birthday, you can make sure that they'll have money in their life.
So what are the good birthdays? Because I would like to know.
The 8th, the 17th, the 26th, the 28th are good for birthday. Good for money when it comes to birthdays. If you want someone to be like extremely good looking, make sure they're born on the 5th, 14th, 23rd, things of that nature. Most supermodels in life have very strong 5 energy. For instance, a lot of people have contacted me over the past 10 years, be like, Gary, we're trying to have kids. We don't know what to do. We've been to doctors. Well, I tell them, have sex on the 5 day. And guess what? I have a lot of kids in the world named after me now because I helped them when doctors couldn't.
Oh shit!
Snaps, dude.
Is there a date? Is there a date you do not want your kid born? Like avoid this date, like leap year, right?
All right, I'll put it out there. I usually don't go this deep, but I'll put it out there this one time. I don't prefer to have anyone born on the 19th because I've noticed quite a few people born on the 19th have a lot of diseases, are born with defects, so that's probably one date I would, try to steer.
You're going to fuck people's heads up in the comments that are born on the 19th.
Dude, this is the best.
Well, guess what? If they're born on the 19th, they can verify that something messed up happened to them when they were young. They grow out of it, but usually when they're young, they get fucked up.
Oh,
health-wise.
My God.
What's up with the number 27? Because there's a 27 club. Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix.
Great question.
Is there something up with that number 27?
I can't go into that. I apologize.
What?
Some things
Come on, man. Give us the good shit.
I got a good question out here. Not going to get nothing.
Dude, he's been on the show for a year. This is his first good question, dude.
I have 650 students around the world that make them sign non-disclosures or certain information. I just won't go, but believe me, I got enough information to keep you guys going for a long time.
Okay, dude. Okay, man. Good job, XG. You just ruined our interview. God damn it, man. We were getting a good shit, and you had to come out with your important. God damn. So I mean, dude, you're blowing my mind. I'm so into this. How long do you think it takes to learn this stuff like that you're teaching? Like, how long does it take to get a black belt in this stuff?
I can take anyone off the streets and make them a black belt with this within a month, to the point where they can sit down to someone and read them like a book based off their birthday.
Oh my God, I'm so interested.
Shit.
And anyone off the streets I can take. Doesn't matter who it is. Like I said, I got so many students now that I don't even do the readings myself. I let the students do them for me. So.
And this is all from 9/11. So we're talking in the last 18 years. You've become a master.
But I mean, I've really known a lot of this stuff for the past like 7 to 11 years. I mean, that's when I really started. When I started going on Michael Savage and Glenn Beck, and doing stuff on Yahoo Sports. That's when I started feeling real confident about myself, because everyone's like, okay, you're a fraud. You're a fraud. Prove you're not a fraud. I'm like, okay. So I'm gonna dumb this down into the common denominator. What do people care about most? Sports. They don't care about stuff that matters. So I started calling NBA finals. My first article on the internet, I called the Miami Heat, who were the underdogs in 2012, to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA finals. After that, I called like about 10 NBA finals in a row. I'm friends with NBA players. I know, I can email NBA owners and get a response within 30 minutes. So before, where people thought I was a quack job before, now I've got a lot of respect from people in high places. So it makes things easier. But, I just remember even my own family told me I was crazy. And, that's no matter how tough you are, that stuff's going to hurt. So I've made it very easy for people to follow my footsteps. When I say my students in GG33, like Nick and stuff like that. But this was not easy 18 years ago. People all thought I was a quack job. The difference now is when 9/11 happened, that signified the start of the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is the 11th sign, another 11 in the mix. So let me go in real deep now.
Yes.
Global warming, climate change. It is real, but it has nothing to do with man-made, carbons and stuff like that. Basically, when a sign of Aquarius is a sign of the water bearer. So basically, during the age of Aquarius, the sea levels will rise. There's nothing anyone can do about it. So they have two choices. They can have a losing battle of, trying to save the cities by the shore, or they can do what the Chinese did. The Chinese have built ghost cities 500 miles inland because they know when Shanghai floods, they can just move their operation, right inside. But Americans and people in the West don't think like that. There's nothing they can do to stop the rising water. There's nothing that can be done. So you have to start moving inland.
Oh shit!
That's why China won't stop polluting the world. They're like, we don't give a fuck.
We got another fucking city to move to.
Holy shit!
Like, again,
they're smart.
Why don't you look up on the internet right now and put it for everyone to see the ghost cities in China where no one lives, but they can sustain a 10 million population. They got like 5 or 6 of these.
Yeah.
Why did those?
And what we've been told, it's so they can fake their gross national product, but
and it's big cities. It's not just like fucking couple houses. It's buildings, like apartment buildings, complexes. Holy crap!
China's so interesting, dude.
This is going on because they know the sea level will rise, and there's nothing they can do about it. Where people in this country, like AOC, says, "Oh, we need to eliminate all carbon, put people back into poverty." There's anything can be done about this. We need to start building mega cities in Iowa, Nebraska. That's what really needs to happen because our kids' future depends on it.
So you're saying don't live in San Diego?
Nope.
No, well, San Diego's my favorite city in the world, but I'm not sure it's going to be around in 30 years.
What do the numbers say?
The numbers say exactly what I told you. I think there's going to be a huge earthquake in California in the year 2036 that's probably going to break off some of the peninsula when it comes to the San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay.
So
Thank
again,
God.
I'm not saying that's going to happen for 100%, but based off my calculations, it's going to be 2036.
Do you expect not to live then or not live here? You're
Well,
like,
all
oh
I
my-
know is that, thank God, because I just opened the studio, and I don't want to have like a fucking earthquake happen in like 2 weeks after I just built this whole thing up. It would really.
You're good for a few years, man.
Thank you, dude. So we get from a numerology. You just blew my. I think I might join your school, dude. I'm very skeptical of joining anything, but I think I'm gonna take this and Krav Maga.
Right.
And just learn to fight and fucking just read the numbers. We need hobbies, right? We need hobbies. I want a hobby. I want to read the numbers. That's what I want to do.
Can we use this to play the lottery? Is there any advantage to using numerology in the lottery?
The lottery is it's a basically operation by the CIA. What they do is they can't take money out of taxpayer dollars without leaving a paper trail. So what they do is they make sure their people win the lotto and they kick that money back to them. I don't believe, people win 400, 500 million, maybe one or two guys, but I believe most of that money is like a psyop to get the CIA money.
Holy shit! Because, dude, you know who got busted doing that?
Yep,
New
it's
Mexico.
happened.
And I believe Oklahoma got busted giving Zorro Ranch giant lottery. Dude, that's totally makes sense, man. That
It's a
totally
psyop.
makes
Oh, it is.
sense that these people win these lotteries. And you're like, oh, this guy just won the lottery.
And half of them stay anonymous too, so you could never prove that they were.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That anonymous money goes straight back to the CIA and Langley. Same thing with Bitcoin. They're doing the same thing with that too.
Okay,
So-
stop. I own 3
don't-
Bitcoin.
Uh-oh.
We like
Stop.
Bitcoin here.
Stop.
I know.
Stop.
Look, I've got a lot of people hate me because of the stuff I said about Bitcoin, but it's fine. Man.
Oh, talk to me about Bitcoin, dude. God dang it.
First of all, you would have to be a moron not to understand that digital currency is the future. I mean, that is set in stone. The reason they're moving everything to 5G is so everyone can start having a digital wallet and pay for everything in cryptocurrency, but not Bitcoin. I'll give you an example. MySpace was the first one in the game. It was replaced by
Facebook.
The first one in the game is very hardly the one that ends up being the winner.
Yeah.
So in my mind, Bitcoin will be used to collapse it, so the government has an excuse to start regulating this stuff. Number two, you can't steal from Bitcoin. It's all blockchain. Everything is open. So if you can't steal, that means the government can't steal. So they're not going to allow that to happen. So the government needs a way to steal money. That's what governments do. They steal money. You can't steal off Bitcoin. So what you need to do is you need to move everything to a privacy coin where you have a back door.
Oh, like Facebook's
So that's
trying to
what
make?
they're eventually do.
Facebook's trying to make their own currency. You
Yeah,
heard that?
everybody Libra or something like
Yeah.
that.
Is that what? Is that where it's going?
I like how they named it after an astrology sign. Very very flippant.
What altcoins would you recommend? What do you have a recommendation for altcoins?
Litecoin, maybe? Anything?
My recommendation is to look into privacy coins. One of those privacy coins will be the champion within a few years, next decade for sure.
Oh, my God.
Is there a reason they consider or they make number 7 the luckiest number?
Because it's the unluckiest number. That's why.
That's what I would figure, right? They're just to fuck with you?
Like for instance, when you go to the casino, they're all about the number 7. 777, 777. The reason they do that is because 7 is the number of the gambler. Gamble starts with G. G is the 7th letter. How many cards in the deck? 52. 5 and 2 is 7. So they want to basically get that energy out there. But what people don't know is 7 is the unluckiest number. So that's why they're trying to push it on as a lucky number to basically fuck people up in the game.
That's
It's all
Jason
reverse
Tebow's favorite
psychology.
number.
I'll give
Oh,
you
my
one-
God.
He's
I'll
like
give you one
everything in his life
example.
is sevens.
I'll give
Oh.
you one example. On 7/7/2007, the local TV station in Cleveland called me up, and they're like, "Would you want to come on and tell everyone why 7/7/7 is the best day to get married?" I'm like, "Well, I'll be happy to come on, but it's actually the worst day to get married. You never want to get married on the 7th, 16th, or 25th because 7, 16, 25 are loner energy. So basically, like all you have to do is look through history. Donald Trump married his first wife, Ivanka, on the 7th. Well, obviously that marriage failed. So what you have to understand is if you do get married, never get married on the 7th, 16th, 25th, because if you do, you might as well invite your divorce attorney to the wedding.
Oh, my God. That's insane. So we got...
There's whole articles about how it was supposed to be the luckiest day to get married. Don't fuck up. Don't miss this date.
Psyop.
Yeah,
Holy
and
shit,
dude,
a
and
bunch
you
of
just
articles on
start to realize that, like, the psyop is, like, so deep, and nobody can believe it. They just... You know what it is, man? Human beings are, like, really trustworthy. That's the problem. Like, we're good people. At our core, outside of psychopaths, human beings are good people. Now, when you add money to it, that kind of changes the game. People will do some medieval shit for a lot of money. You know, we see people kill loved ones over money, and it sucks. But I mean, at the core, people are good people, and we're very trusting. And so we trust these people. And what we don't realize is, like, they're there to just misinform us so much. It's mind
They
blowing.
get paid.
Yeah.
They get paid. I'll give you an example. A lot of people who are born on the 11th have a lot of charisma. Okay. The two biggest podcasts in internet history, I believe, are Alex Jones and Joe Rogan. They're both born on the 11th. You know, they think they're all great and everything, but it has a lot to do with the fact that they're born on the 11th. If you look at the two, what's his name? Nation of Islam, Louis Farrakhan.
Yeah.
He's born on the, you know, if you, who's the guy who, the guy from the alt-right, the main guy?
Is it who's the guy they said I was dressing like?
Ben Shapiro?
No, not Ben Shapiro. The Proud Boy guy.
Alex Crowder?
Gavin McInnes?
Gavin McInnes? That guy?
No, I forgot his name, but anyways, he was the one leading the rallies in Charlottesville that happened on the 11th.
Oh yeah.
He's got like a.
We know who we're talking about. He's born on the 11th as well. When that Florida school got hit, there was a girl called Emma for Change. She started pushing gun control. Well, she was born on 11/11. As a matter of fact, two of those kids who became big stars after the shooting were born on 11/11. What you have to understand is people with the 11 energy have a lot of charisma, and sometimes the elite push these people
Richard Spencer.
basically because they know that people will follow. So again, you know, all you got to do is look at the number one podcast guy right now, Joe Rogan, born on the 11th. Who's the number one WWE star of all time? Probably Hulk Hogan, born on the 11th.
Oh
so
my
again,
God.
a lot of charisma with people born on certain dates, and if they know how to use it in life, they can actually get ahead.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
My kid's getting fucking taken out the 11th.
Yeah, no. Okay, how long you're being born on the 11th or the 8th or the 1st or the 28th, but not on the 7th
Or the 19th.
or the 19th.
Well, let's not say, you know, there's something wrong with every number that I'm not talking about. I mean, I if I was going to talk about every single number, it'd take 2 hours. So again, we're doing a Cliff Notes version here, but when it comes down to it, 7 is the number of the genius. Genius starts with G. G is the 7th letter. A lot of people who were born on the 7th, 16th, 25th have extremely high IQ levels. That is what made me understand that numerology supersedes race. Numerology supersedes gender. It's all above that. The smartest women I've met are born on the 7th, 16th, 25th. I've met many educated women, not too many smart ones, but the ones I have met were born on the 7th, 16th, 25th. So, you know, a black man born on the 7th, 16th, 25th will be just as smart as anyone else. You know, a white man born on the 7th, 16th, 25th will be extremely intelligent as well. So
it's across all race. It doesn't matter your race, what everybody thinks it might be. XG, when were you born?
The 1st of February?
This is what I tell people. Like, you know, a lot of black people are very proud of Dr. King. Well, I have more to do with Dr. King as a white man than most black people do because he's a Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn. That's my people.
I get that,
shit.
dude. I'm getting what. So it's not race, gender, or anything like that.
Horoscope.
I have a quick question. So if you were about to have your child born the day before a really good number, and it comes out at like 11:59 p.m., is that better than being born earlier in that day, or is it the same that whole day?
Time doesn't matter?
You know what I'm saying?
No, time matters. The time that someone's born matters.
No, but what I'm saying is, would you rather be closer to that next day that's a good number, or is
There's no bad numbers, dude.
But that's a really good number. I didn't say it was a bad number.
Here's what you're missing. what do I want my child to be? Do I want my child to be very good looking?
Yeah.
Do I
Okay.
want
Well,
my
let's
child
say
to be
the
very
next day, the very next day that your child's about to be born, and tomorrow.
Five's good looking, so five's good looking.
Yeah, and it's the 4th, and it's like 11:50, and they have to take it out. Then was it better for him to be born on 11:50?
Do you want the doctor to hold it? Like, dude, hold it 5 minutes.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Say it's born at 11:50. Would that be better looking than a child who was born earlier in the day, or is that whole day that number?
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I could probably give you a BS answer, but in all honesty, that's what we need scientific studies for.
Okay.
Because I'm the best numerologist in the game by far, but when you're asking questions like that, that's when you need to do tests. That's what you need, and this is the stuff they need to study in the future. Because I want to know stuff like that myself. If a kid is born at 10:50, does he have more qualities of the next day than the day before? My initial response would be yes, he would. But that's not something. Everything I talk about with you guys, I can prove. I have facts to prove.
In your experience, do these numbers go with the time zone you're in, or is there one time zone that has more power than others?
It's the time zone you're in.
Guys, listen, numbers are important for your. So I want to get into our next thing, which is astrology. And how is astrology different than numerology? Because I'm not a chick or a gay man, so I don't know a lot of that stuff. Because that's what that's always associated with, right?
Neither am I, brother. Neither am I.
How do you I don't know anything about that. I was just referring to a joke a friend of ours has about astrology and how there's not a lot of guys going, "Hey, what's your sign?"
No, it's a girl thing. It's a horoscope, so they love that shit.
They do love that stuff.
You guys are exactly right. Astrology is a woman's game. Numerology was a woman's game until I took it over. But I'm not big enough to take astrology over. Numerology I own. When it comes to astrology, there's many more people way more famous than me, so I can't really make that claim. But what I will tell you is numerology supersedes all forms of astrology. It's not even close. And here's the best part. There's so many different forms of astrology. There's Chinese astrology. There's what I call Earth astrology, what most people call Western astrology, which most people would say Virgo, Leo, Libra, things of that nature. The interesting part is the least accurate form of astrology, which is the Western astrology, is the one that's promoted the most in the world. So again, it shows you how the psyop works. The people in positions of power, they know astrology works and they know there's different forms of astrology. But what they do is they promote the biggest bullshit form of it. So people with intelligent minds look at this stuff and be like, oh, this is crap. You know, that's why they put the astrology horoscopes by the funny section to make people subconsciously think they're idiots. So while there is a lot of truth in astrology, the stuff that's out there is complete BS. So I don't blame people for being like, you know what, this is garbage. Because when I read that stuff, that's exactly what I thought. Only difference is I knew there was something in it, and I started digging myself. The most accurate form of astrology is called Chinese astrology. That basically there's 12 signs, and every sign has 2 friends and 1 enemy. So I'll just give you some examples of how this works. Kobe and Shaq didn't like each other. Kobe was born in a horse year. Shaq is born in a rat year, enemy signs. So it doesn't matter if you look at this from a sports perspective or a financial perspective. Let's go to 2008. 2008 was the year of the rat. That's when we had the financial crisis. What happened? Lehman Brothers collapsed. Lehman Brothers was founded in a horse year. So again, the enemy collapsed and then started the whole recession. Another example, OPEC was founded in a rat year. In 1990, which was a horse year, in 2014, which was a horse year, oil tanked. So again, I'm showing you guys how to make money off this stuff now. You have to understand that when a place, a person, when a place is founded, when a company is incorporated, when a person is born, they're imprinted with energy. And based off that energy, during certain years, they're going to do well because that energy is compatible. And during certain years, they're going to do very poorly. For instance, we're in the year of the pig right now. The pig's enemy is the snake. Well, there's a lot of people who are born in snake years who got hit this year. Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots.
Oh, my God. Really?
this was, yeah, so he's a snake. That's supposed to happen. Tom Brady's playing like shit this year. Why? Because he's born 1977, the year of the snake, and this is a pig year. I believe Flex Wheeler, a very former bodybuilding champion, he was born 1965. He got his leg amputated in a pig year. So the enemy side things work.
Real quick question. Would you then say it was a wise bet to see Tom Brady bounce back next year?
He probably should do better, but I mean, let's not kid ourselves. The guy's 43 years old.
Yeah, he's old. I was about to say he's old.
Okay, so
plus if you had that woman in your bedroom, I think you'd be preoccupied with other things besides football too.
For sure. Hold on. So I want to get into this real quick.
I also see that you stick to like obviously baseball, basketball, NFL. Do you ever go into MMA or anything?
Hold on. I don't want to get into sports yet. Hold on. I really want to stay on this real quick because it's just very interesting. Hold on. So I want to go, what are the different signs? Because we're all over the place. We'll get back to that, I promise you. What are the different signs?
The first sign is the rat. The second sign is the ox. The third sign is the tiger. The fourth sign is the cat. Many people mistake it for being a rabbit. It is actually a cat. The fifth sign is the dragon. The sixth sign is the snake. The seventh sign is the horse. The eighth sign is the goat. 8 is the number of money. Bill Gates is a goat. He's usually one of the richest men in the world. Goats have money. The ninth sign is the monkey. I'll give you an example. America was founded in the monkey year. The most popular sport in America is the NFL. No one gives a damn about the NFL outside America, but inside they do. Why? Because the NFL was founded 1920, which is a monkey year. So in the monkey country, the monkey sport is the most popular. The 10th sign is the rooster. Roosters are extremely aggressive. The 11th sign is the dog. Well, I've talked about the number 11. The fact that 3 of the last 4 presidents of the United States were born in the dog year, that should tell you volumes. And the last sign is the pig. So those are 12 signs. Now, here are the enemies. The horse is enemies with the rat. So George Washington, a rat, rebelled against King George, a horse.
Whoa! Man!
Next, the ox. The ox is the second sign. Hitler was born in the ox year. So I'm going to go through a quick spiel about this. Hitler was born in the ox year, and he basically came in power in 1933, which was a rooster year. The rooster and the ox are friends. He basically dominated Europe in 1941, which is a snake year. The snake and the ox are friends. 1943, it all went to hell. He started losing the war, and it was over. And 1943 is a goat year, and that is the enemy of the ox.
Oh, my God.
Another example, Napoleon. Napoleon decided, who was an ox, decided to plan the logistics of invading Russia in a goat year. It cost him his freaking empire. So, again, there's one of my favorite things to do is to go through history of, famous people and see where they made their mistakes. And, that's something I always enjoy doing. Last example I can give you is Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein was born in 1937, the year of the ox. And again, let's go through the spiel. The ox's enemy is the goat. And 1991, first Gulf War, that was a goat year. 2003, 12 years later, because it goes every 12 years, was the next invasion of Iraq. And again, the ox got toppled in his enemy year. So I just gave you an example of how 3 dictators, Hitler, Napoleon, and Saddam, all oxes, all fell in their enemy year. So people could call this a coincidence all they want, but facts don't change. After that, you have the tiger. The third sign is enemies with the monkey. I'll give you an example of how this works. Wesley Snipes went to jail for tax evasion. Name me one other Hollywood star who went to jail for tax evasion. You can't. So normally, most people will be like, oh, Wesley Snipes is black, so this is racism. Wrong. It's not racism. Wesley Snipes is born in the tiger year. America is a monkey country. So if you're born in the tiger year, the United States of America will be tougher on you than everybody else. I'll give you an example. The Wolf of Wall Street. What do you think? He was the only crook who stole money out of Wall Street? No, but he got caught. Why? Because he's a tiger, and America and the FBI are both monkeys. Next example, Bernie Madoff.
Oh, I was just going to ask this.
Yeah, Bernie Madoff, another tiger. So he got knocked again by the FBI, which is a monkey found in 1908.
What?
in the United States of America. So again, the FBI founding the monkey year in America, which was a monkey nation, took down Madoff, a tiger.
Oh
So
my
again,
God.
enemy sign combination. So let's go through the list next. The next sign, the fourth sign, is the cat. The cat is enemies with the rooster. Brad Pitt, a cat, married Jennifer Aniston, a rooster. That didn't quite work out, did it? I could have told him that in 2001, saved him a lot of heartache, but who listened to me back then? Next sign, the dragon is enemies with the dog. And you're going to enjoy this one. Nancy Pelosi, a dragon, is trying to impeach Donald Trump, born in the dog year. Shocking. So again, enemy signs at work. And we already talked about the snake and the pig and how that enemy sign combination works.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Dude, I'm blown away because I believe all this stuff, dude. I believe it, man. 72, I'm a rat. So who should I look for? What should I do?
If you're born in a rat year, that means you have a sixth sense to sense danger. When something's wrong, when something's off, you'll get knots in your stomach. Always trust your gut instincts, my friend.
So, and then his enemy was the horse?
Yes, his enemy is the horse. So basically 2014 probably wasn't the best year for you. 2002 probably wasn't the best year. So it goes every 12 years.
So,
Oh no, dude. So
you better be careful with anybody in the 2002s, in the 90s, the 78s, 66, 57, and 42. Anybody in that year, tell them to fuck off, Sam.
Could you offset a bad couple with good numerology, like the wedding date and those kinds of things?
That's a great question.
I mean, that basically happened with Barack Obama. His father was a rat and his mother was a horse. I mean, they didn't stay together, but they still had Barack. So take that for
God, dude. This is insane. What are you? You're a ox?
I'm an ox, yeah.
So I'm a rat. He's an ox. Do we get along?
Soulmates. Only soulmate combination is an ox.
What are you?
I'm 93, so that would be
93.
Rooster. He's a loyal guy, but he can be extremely aggressive at times.
You took the words out of my mouth.
I'm aggressive where I need to be aggressive with the blue chew.
But does a rooster and a rat get along?
They would have issues. A rat is very good at manipulation. Rooster is very blunt, so they might have some issues with that. Not saying all rats do it for a negative purpose, but the rat is one of the smartest signs. So that manipulation thing does.
So you're saying I should keep an eye on XG? Is that what you're saying?
No. On Johnny.
No, Johnny's an ox. We get along. We're soulmates.
No, I'm a rooster.
Yeah, you're a rooster. You're a pain in my ass.
I'll give you an example. The rat is good friends with the monkey. The rat is good friends with the dragon, and the rat is soulmates with the ox. So let's go into history. Without Hitler, who was ox, Israel would have never existed.
Right.
Israel was founded in 1948, the year of the rat. Israel's good friend is America, which was founded in the monkey year. So again, monkey rat combination. And who protects Israel above all else? Mossad. Mossad was founded. That's their secret organization, like the CIA. They were founded in the ox year. So you have the ox protecting the rat, which is pretty much how it's always
What
been.
year was the Nazis founded?
They were founded 1933, the year of the rooster. And what you have to understand about them is the reason the Nazis were so aggressive was because they had a rooster energy within them. That's why they were always fighting.
So interesting. Do you know when the Vatican was founded? I'd like to know that energy.
Off the top of my head, I don't know. So you caught me.
God. Dude, I am blown away. Now, I want to get into some stuff, and then we'll end on some sports stuff.
The Vatican was founded, Vatican City, February 11, 1929.
Oh, February 11th.
Oh,
Look
my
at that.
God.
Look at that.
Oh, my God. Right here in real time.
They're going to say it was a coincidence.
No, dude.
Someone's going to say that shit. Someone's going to say it.
It was a year of the snake.
That makes sense.
Did the snake and what was the FBI, the CIA? Do they get along? Was the CIA is a rat or a rooster?
The CIA was founded in 1947, the year of the pig, and they actually assassinated JFK who was born in 1917, the year of the snake. So the CIA, a pig, basically got rid of a snake president.
Does a pig and what was the Vatican again?
Snake.
Snake. Does a pig and snake get along?
No, they're worst enemies.
Oh my God, that's so interesting.
So what this basically gives you is a blueprint in life. And, you know, it's one thing when you listen to another guy who says, okay, this is this and this is just the way it is. That's not me. I throw so many facts in people's faces. If they try to deny this stuff, they're just denying logic. It's that simple.
How rigid are these rules in terms of like are these set in stone? Meaning that, let's say we had a fourth person here, and I'm a rat, and who's my enemy?
Horse.
And they're a horse. Should I never try to work with these people?
Now let me explain how that works. Kobe and Shaq didn't like each other, but they still won championships together. And the reason they won championships together was because their numerology aligned. And as I told you, the numerology supersedes the astrology. So say you're born on 28th, and you have someone else who's a horse, who's your enemy sign in astrology, but very compatible numerology. It can work. The only thing is, don't ever get married to your enemy sign. You know, it's okay to go into business with your enemy sign. I mean, hell, look at some of the best shows on TV for ESPN. What's his name? Stephen A. Smith is a GOAT. ESPN was founded in the GOAT year, so he's the main guy on ESPN. Before him, it was Chris Berman, who was born in 1955, the year of the GOAT. So ESPN, a GOAT company, does very good in promoting GOATs. But who is that guy, the white dude who sits across?
Max Kellerman.
Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman's an ox. So they're enemy signs, but it works because what they're doing is they're arguing all the time. So that's why it works. So depending on the situation, depending on the setting, it could work. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. It does. So as a rat, who should I work with?
Oxes, number one, first and foremost. After that, it would be dragons and monkeys.
Oxes, dragons, and monkeys. Oh my! So you're very much in. Go on. Sorry.
You said something about San Diego in the very beginning of the show. Someone said something about San Diego.
Yeah, about not living.
San Diego's a great location because San Diego was founded in the ox year. So you, as a rat, should enjoy the vibe in San Diego because it's an ox vibe. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. I love this. I love it. Okay, I want to get into some occult stuff. You're into the occult. What got you into the occult? I don't think people realize how deep the occult is in everything. Like all of your major corporations, there's occult symbolism and stuff like that, and people don't realize it until they realize it. And then when they realize it, they realize it's everywhere. What got you into the occult?
Same answer, brother, 9/11.
And what were the first things? I mean, obviously the 11th and stuff like that, but was there anything else that kind of blew you away where you started realizing everything?
When I started seeing that, like for instance, the movie The Matrix, they pointed out, are you looking at me, Neil, or are you looking at the lady in red? And then I started understanding how they use certain colors, because those are based off chakra energy. The root chakra, if in someone's body, is based off sexual energy, and that's represented by the color red. So what these people in the movie industry always try to do is they try to put the sexiest woman in a red dress to make people, think about sex that much more. So colors, shapes, even sounds, that has a lot to do with the occult. I just call it the Matrix. And to me, the Matrix is a virtual reality which feeds off people's emotions. When you sleep, every insect, every animal, every person on the planet sleeps. And this is where I'm going to lose some people. And I understand that because a lot of people are going to be like, okay, the numerology and astrology is cool, Gary. But when I start talking about stuff like this, I'm going to start losing a few people. And that's fine because it's still the truth. The fact of the matter is when we sleep, the Matrix feeds on our emotional energy. It basically feeds on us. During the day, we're like bees. We collect pollen. And when we go to sleep, the matrix feeds on us. So this virtual reality causes us to be in conflicts, causing us to have problems with our girlfriends, our wives, our kids. Something's wrong with the car. So we get all emotional. We get stressed out. And when we carry that emotion and we go to sleep, the matrix feeds off that emotion. So I hope that wasn't too deep for you guys.
No.
Shit, that
So
was perfect.
what? So how do that, is the we don't want the matrix feeding off our negative energy, right? Like, is that the goal?
I mean, listen, the matrix is like a deity. It's a freaking god. It might be the god and devil all in the one together. So the matrix communicates through numbers, through colors, through shapes. The thing is, it always leaves you clues. You just have to know how to read the numbers. And that's why, you know, people see repetitive numbers all the time. I'm sure all of you guys have seen 1111 on the clock all the time. People ask me all the time, what does that mean? It basically is a subconscious way of the matrix talking to your mind. It also means you're woke. Most people who are woke to some degree always see 1111 all the time. Again, if you don't see it all the time, then you probably got some spirituality stuff to work on.
That's what that whole Make-A-Wish thing. Everyone that it's 11:11, make a wish.
Garbage. See, that's more false information. And this is the crap that these women numerologists put out there. You know, love everybody, feel good. You know, as long as you love everybody, everything's going to be good. You know, just crap like that.
That's all garbage? The energy you put out is the energy you get back? It's all garbage?
No, the law of attraction works. The law of attraction works. I do not deny the law of attraction. But there's something that supersedes the law of attraction called the law of opposites. I'll give you an example. Why would the elites, who are hideous people who always do something with a negative intent, why would they release a secret like manifestation? Why would they release that unless there is a trap door? So here's what I'm basically trying to say. Yes, if you manifest good things, they can happen. And a lot of people have manifested a lot of stuff, including myself. Yet, there's a reason the Bible says saints create sinners. Because for every person who creates a good thought, the matrix will balance it out with a negative thought. So while someone is manifesting riches for themselves, the matrix will make sure someone else is poor. Because everything has to be balanced in the matrix. Yin versus yang. I'll give you an example of how the law of opposites supersedes the law of attraction. Let's say you saw someone falling right now. And you know they didn't injure yourself, but they fall. You start laughing and bust out laughing. Everyone has done it. You see someone fall, see someone break something, they start busting out laughing. Why does misery in that person cause joy in you?
Law of opposites.
There you go. And the law of opposites supersedes the law of attraction. So now you understand why the elite actually release something like the law of attraction, because the law of opposites supersedes.
So let's say I'm kicking ass. Should XG not hang out with me because he's going to eat a dick?
No. The negative that is manifested from your good could affect someone halfway around the world you never met. Has nothing to do with the person around you. As a matter of fact, as someone who's born in a rat year, you should always look out for people who are born in ox years. You should always get along with people. Never try to, do anything negative to an ox. Yet, if you do something negative to a horse, hey, that's just the way it works.
Oh,
you're not going to
shit.
get it. I'm
going to start finding out who horses are and light these motherfuckers up.
You're going to have me walking around asking.
So Mike Tyson was born in a horse year, and the guy who committed the biggest upset in sports history, Buster Douglas, was a rat.
Yeah.
Whoa, damn.
Wow. Dude.
Enemy signs, got him.
So the occult, right? Are we talking like Illuminati? Even deeper than that? Like deeper than that, we're talking like ancient knowledge, lizard people. Like how deep are we going with this?
No. I'm not going to be one of those guys who talks about reptilians, ingrays, and all the other stuff. I want you to do me a favor. Can you write the word alien on the screen, just real, so everyone can see it? Just write the word alien and put it on the screen.
Can you do that, Johnny? Can he write alien? You put it, what's on his screen, on the thing? Just open up Okay, it's there. Put it on the screen.
Well,
Okay.
maybe just open up like a text document. Or something.
Yeah, open a text document. Stop being an asshole.
I'm going.
He's doing it right
You guys
now.
gonna like it.
Okay, dude.
I want the audience to see this. That's why I asked you to put it up.
All right.
Okay. Now, why don't you? Now you have the word alien. Now take the A and the N out. What do you have?
A and N.
Yeah, take the A and N out. What does the spell?
Lie.
There you.
It's a lie and the other way. Wow.
There you go.
And Neil too. It spells Neil backwards.
Yeah. Neo spells one backwards too.
So you don't believe in
Um,
aliens, lizard people, or any of that stuff?
No. Now, is it possible our DNA itself has reptilian in it? Yes, that is very possible because at some point I believe human babies all have a tail. But no, I don't believe there's reptilians in the middle of the ground who control the secret government and all this other stuff. I think that's psyops and false information by the elite to keep the trail off them. That's basically what I think.
Wow. So you mentioned I went through some of your tweets and you mentioned something that I found amazing was that you were talking about Marilyn Monroe and your belief that she was assassinated because she was giving secrets to Fidel Castro. What makes you believe that?
Well, she was sleeping with Fidel Castro. That's a known fact. She was also sleeping with JFK. So, why take a chance? Why take a chance that she's going to leak information to Fidel Castro? So the CIA did what they had to do. I don't blame them one bit.
Oh, my God. Dude, this bitch was banging everything, huh? I mean, she must just have that fucking pink lemonade vagina. Right?
She's born in the Tiger year. Tiger women have a habit of being around very rich men.
What years are the Tiger women? I got to find this out. What years are the Tiger women?
86,
70,
98,
yep.
74, 62, 50.
Jesus, man.
No 50-year-olds.
Wow.
Yeah, but guess what? Those a woman born in the Tiger year, even at 40, might have a better body than most 20-year-old women. Because tigers age like wine. The two biggest female bodybuilders of all time were both tigers. So,
fucking ladies, get at me, dude. Get at me. Tiger ladies, hello.
Damn.
God dang. Any other interesting occult stuff that you might be, or any interesting conspiracy stuff such as Marilyn Monroe or any of that stuff that you think our listeners would love to hear?
I got plenty of them, but off the top of my head, let's talk about the Titanic.
Yeah, let's hear this.
The Titanic was actually a hit job. What happened was they wanted to start the Federal Reserve in 1911, but there was a very powerful man in America called Mr. Ustra. I might be butchering his name, but he owned half the politicians. And, he was against it because he was basically running 40% of the banks as it is himself. So what happened was when people are so powerful, when mobsters are so powerful, you can't just kill them because that will start a war. You have to make it seem like an accident. So what happened is when the Titanic got launched, all the richest families in the world went on it. But yet at the very last minute, the P.J. Morgans of the world all of a sudden canceled because they knew it was a hit job. The Titanic was supposed to go down. So after the Titanic goes down, all of a sudden Mr. Usher is dead and all the politicians he's bribing, all that money dries up. So obviously, like the roaches they are, they switch to the other side very quickly. So the Federal Reserve gets founded in Jekyll Island in 1913. And after the Federal Reserve gets founded, then they have enough money to fund World War I, which started in 1914. So again, you have a step-by-step basis. First, the Titanic gets sunk. Then you have the Federal Reserve. Then you have World War I. And again, World War I leads to World War II. And you get the whole spiel.
Wow. I fucking love this shit. I could listen to this all day. Now, you could go back through time. You could look at these numbers. Do you have stuff that tells you what's going to happen in the future? Obviously, XG brought up sports. This can help you predict sports, or maybe not necessarily predict it, but give you an inclination into what might possibly happen or good odds that will happen. Any thoughts on that?
If you know how to apply numerology and astrology correctly, you can figure out what is the most likely outcome. Now, I'm not psychic. I never claimed to be, even though I could probably fool a lot of people and tell them I am. That's not the game I play. Most psychics are frauds, and I will not be referred to as a fraud. So when it comes down to it, if you know how to read numerology and astrology correctly, yes, you can predict the outcome of things to a degree. Like, for instance, I said Donald Trump would win the election. I went on national radio on Michael Savage's show and said he would win the election. If I'm wrong, my career is over. But I knew he'd win. So, you got to take chances in life when you believe you know what you're doing. And all you got to do is look at all the parlays I hit the past 4 days, over $250,000 worth, and I posted all on Twitter. People don't do stuff like that. That's because of numerology and astrology. I'm able to do stuff like that.
Have you?
If I didn't have numerology and astrology, I'd be another loser gambling like everyone else.
Have you analyzed the next election yet for numerology?
There's only one person that I believe can beat Donald Trump. But here's the thing about
who is it?
The only person in my mind who can beat Donald Trump is Elizabeth Warren. And that's because she's born on the 22nd. I'm hoping Joe Biden gets the nomination because he has no chance.
No, not him.
So you're a Trump guy. Tell us about Trump.
No. Actually, Trump called me a loser on Twitter.
Really?
So I'm not a Trump guy, but what I am is I'm not a communist. I'm not a socialist. And I believe in capitalism. And I believe in gun ownership. So, I mean, while I don't like Trump maybe as a person, I think he's a lot better than what the left is offering when it comes to socialism and communism. That stuff don't work. My parents came from the Soviet Union. I know what communism and socialism is. I want nothing to do with it.
Let me ask you, what are the numbers tell you about Donald Trump?
Donald Trump is born 6/14/1946. And he's born in the year of the dog, and he used Twitter to get to the presidency. Twitter was founded in 2006, the year of the dog. So, again, he's using a platform that's aligned with his energy to actually win. And that's exactly what he did.
Do you think he knows that? Do you think he knew that to use Twitter? Or do you think it's just...
I told Donald Trump when I met him on October 22nd, 2016, he actually spent like a minute talking to me where everyone else, he was shaking their hand. But for me, he talked for a little bit. And I told him, Donald, you're going to win the election. And he looked at me and he was shocked. And I was like, numerology and astrology. So he knows who I am. I can get emails to people in his. I can't get an email to the president himself. But if I wanted to, I can get it to the people around him. They know who I am. So, I got invited to his inaugural ball and stuff like that. So when it comes down to it, Donald Trump, I'm not a fan, but he's the lesser evil. So he's my man. I'm not one of these people who's going to be like, everything's going to be good with the world, kumbaya. No, it's not about good versus evil. When it comes to politics, it's about evil versus lesser evil. I firmly believe if Hillary Clinton was in office right now, well, I think we'd be at war with Russia. I firmly believe that.
I think there's something to it now. I believe that. Now, let me ask you something. Is there anything that the numbers or the astrology or the numerology says that is coming up? Something very interesting. You said like 2036, there could be a giant...
Economic crisis is coming next year. The economy will crash. My advice to people right now, don't buy houses. Wait till the stuff drops about 20-30%, and then buy it for pennies on the dollar. Last time we had an economic crisis was 2008, the year of the rat, and 2020 is again another rat year. So yes, very possible for another economic crisis. Now, just so you know, you're born in 72. Just because other people are going to be struggling, that don't mean you're going to be struggling. You might be one of the few people who's doing really well. because it's a rat year and you're a rat. But most people will be struggling. Companies that were founded in horse years, they're going to have a lot of trouble. I mean, Deutsche Bank in Germany. I mean, if that's a good short, people. I'm just telling you right now, if you're in the stock market, as soon as the year 2020 hits, short Deutsche Bank, and you'll be very, very happy. So yes, I use this stuff not just for sports. I use it for the stock market. I got hedge fund managers who are, pay more in taxes than me and you will make in our lifetime, who use this knowledge. So it helps.
I want to do it. So let's say I want to join your group and I want to get into the knowledge. What would you suggest I do? How would I start?
I won't even charge you, bro. If you want to join GG33, you're more than welcome to join, but you do have to sign a non-disclosure.
Done.
You can't, some of the stuff I teach you, you can't be repeating other people. I'm not afraid of competition, but I will not compete against myself.
Done deal. Loose lips, seal. Fucking seal. Boom. Nothing. I won't tell you.
Throw the
I won't
key
even
away.
tell you that the haircut's going to get worse based on the fucking knowledge.
So this is what we're going to do. I go out to Vegas a lot. You want to meet me out there? We can do it in person. I will teach you this stuff. And what I want you to do is, after I give you this knowledge, I want you to start reading people. I want you to go out there and be like, listen, I learned this in a month. This, people think I'm some kind of, psychic or something like that. No, this is a learned skill. I'm not psychic. I'm a genius. Well, big difference.
I am in. Johnny, I know when you touch the board, you have something to say.
Do you think psychics are mostly charlatans, or is that something also a skill that people have?
95% of charlatans. Yes, there are some skilled psychics, but I've met very, very few skilled psychics. I mean, if you want a skilled psychic, you're probably going to have to find a woman who's a Cancer, and she has to be overweight. Because when they're overweight, they have more water weight, and which basically gives them more ability to pick up on things from from that type of. I'm getting tongue twisted here, but you guys understand what I'm trying to
Yes,
say.
he's like a tune fork.
Dude, no wonder my ex-girlfriend knew I was cheating. This fucking bitch.
Wow, dude, thick chicks get it right.
Yeah, damn.
Damn.
Don't
Damn.
Date it. Don't date it.
Gary
don't-
blowing minds,
Ooh.
popping minds like champagne bottles. Wow.
Every day.
Don't date
By the way,
fatties.
I will be running for president in 2024, so I'm trying to get some votes now as well.
All right, dude. Well, we love having presidential candidates on the show. And wow, dude, I am kind of blown away. I will be.
Are you waiting for 2024 because it's your year? Is
No,
there a reason you're
2024.
picking that year?
Yeah, because I'm not running against Trump. I have no chance.
I
But
think that's
when he
why
gets-
Tulsi's
when he-
not going to
when he-
run.
when he gets out the way, I'm just the same way some of you guys were skeptics. Same way a lot of people in the audience were skeptics. After listening to me for 30 minutes, I think maybe I didn't convince you, but you guys are starting to think, there might be something to this. I can get on stage with the best politicians in the world and pull this off.
Can you predict championships?
I've done it. I've called 10 NBA finals in a row, from
What's okay?
2016.
Blow my mind.
As
Don't
a matter
hurt
of
my
fact,
feelings. What
as a
is?
matter of- I call it the biggest upset in NBA history. When the Cavs were down 3-1 to the Golden State Warriors in 2016 NBA Finals, I went on the news. You can find this on YouTube. Just put in Gary the Numbers Guy Cavs. And I said the Cavs would come back from 3-1 down, and they freaking did.
Who's going to be in the finals?
This year's it honestly matters where Andre Iguodala goes, and obviously people know I know the guy, but I'm not saying that because of him. If Andre Iguodala ends up going to the Lakers, they're gonna win it. If he ends up going to the Clippers, they're gonna win it. So
Oh
Andre
man, we're in the
Andre
top.
Iguodala
That's all you
is
wanted
the
to
big
hear.
here.
We're in it.
He's
Come
the big-
on, Iguodala, come and hang, man. The Lakers are doing way better than I thought they would do, and
I said LeBron would win the MVP this year. So
hey, man.
yeah, there's a good chance they do. It's the Lakers, good chance, but you know,
HGH is a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Get that goods, get that shit. I am blown away, brother. He's known as Gary the Numbers guy. Gary Grinberg. I am blown away. Final thoughts. What do you think, Johnny? In or out? In or out?
I'm in.
I'm in too, dude. XG, in or out?
I'm in. He told me why my ex-girlfriend fucking found out I was cheating on her. I'm in, dude. I'm in.
You know, to all the ladies and the listeners, we're not all like that. Like some of us are just, we care about you.
Gentlemen.
So some of us are gentlemen. I am of the year the rat because I kick ass and take time. Gary, can you tell us where to find all your amazing stuff?
Okay, well, I used to have a 22K account. Numerology now suspended by Twitter. Had an account called Imprinted Energy with 15,000 followers. Suspended by Twitter. One called GG33. Suspended by Twitter. My current one is Mastermind_33. You can always find me. Just Google Gary the Numbers Guy. You'll go to my website. You know, I have a YouTube page that I really don't use too much anymore. But I'm assuming that Twitter will axe me again at some point. It's too bad they really can't do anything about me because I built up so many students who have 10,000, 20,000 K accounts that, as soon as they eliminate me, I just open a new account and I grab a whole bunch of new followers. I mean, I have like 6,700 followers, 6,800 followers right now, and I built that in like 4 weeks.
Let me ask you, why are they kicking you off?
Oh, they don't like me. What can I tell you? It's not. I'm not even. I used to be extremely, vulgar. But I mean, I cut that back after the first account got axed, and they keep axing me. Only thing I can think of is I'm probably spreading too much truth. Because if my voice actually gets out there, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. Because if society even knows 10% of what I know, brother, we're going to be living in a utopia because that's just knowledge. That's it's not love that solves all the problems in the world. It's knowledge that solves everything.
Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power.
I found a way around the Twitter suspensions. So what happens is every time I get suspended, you go to a website called Find GG33 and my new Twitter account will be there. So this is my way to get around Twitter suspensions because they can go to hell.
Man, I'm blown away. Today was an amazing episode. I really enjoyed this episode. It was like when I found out that Jesus was part alien. What's your thoughts on what was your thoughts on Jesus Christ? Real guy, was a guy born in the year of the ox? What are we talking about?
I believe that someone like Jesus existed, but to say that he's the son of God or something like that, that's a little bit, pushing it for me. I listen, I'm a numerologist or astrologer, but I'm a skeptic by nature. I need evidence. I need proof because if you don't give me proof, fuck you. It's that simple. I don't believe anything you say. So that's why I've got this routine that I do down to, my memory, because when I talk to individuals like you, I want to be able to convince you with facts. Not just because, I'm Gary the Numbers Guy. No, fuck that shit. Give me facts. And that's what I do. I try to provide as much facts from a financial standpoint, from a sports standpoint, from a personal standpoint, where you throw enough information at someone and they'll be like, okay, well, you know what? This stuff is kind of accurate. So maybe there is something to this. And I'm not saying you're going to be a numerologist overnight. Well, you will be, because once I meet up with you, I'll train you for about a month, bro. You're going to be fucking killing it out here. Straight up killing.
I'm so stoked. I am so stoked. Guys, thank you so much, Gary. You are always welcome on the show to talk anytime about anything. You have an open door to this. We appreciate you. So thank you very much, dude. You're the best. We appreciate you. So, Johnny, don't end the thing. I want to do a thing. Thanks, Gary. Thank you very much. Take care, and I will DM you and hit you up about how we can get this ball started.
Sounds good, brother. Thanks for having me on.
Take care, bud. Thank you. So I want to get into something really quick. You can hang up so he doesn't have to stay. I don't want to keep him. He's got a lot of stuff to do. There we go. I want to thank Gary. I love that.
That was dope.
I love
That was
that.
fun. See, I like that fun episode like that.
I want to get in real quick with you all about my feelings on the DOJ and their findings on the FISA warrant. What is being spinned right now by liberals with blue check marks is that they found no, where is it real quick? I want to read some of this fun stuff. This fucking guy. Kyle Griffin from the DOJ report. Steele info did not factor into Russian launch. The official, though, did not become aware of the Steele election report until weeks later and was therefore determined that the Steele played no role. Okay, that's bullshit. All right? And if you're looking for the DOJ to tell you anything correctly, you're never going to find. What have we found about the FBI, the CIA, the DOJ, all these guys? They protect their own, right? The JFK assassination. What did they say? What did the Warren Commission say? Oh, magic bullet theory, right? One guy made a bunch of shots and the bullet just turned around and did U-turns, right? What did the 9/11 Commission tell you? Saudi hijackers flew a plane in and that's it. And 2 planes took down 4 buildings. A 4th building that they don't even tell you about. Okay? And then what was the next thing? Oh yeah, the anthrax investigation ran by who? Robert Mueller, who also ran the 9/11 investigation. Robert Mueller. So what did Robert Mueller find out about the anthrax attacks? Oh, they blamed it on a certain scientist who ended up taking his own life. When we find out that the only place in the United States that made weaponized anthrax was a fucking military base in Utah. And that everybody in the George Bush administration fucking took an antidote for anthrax a month before. All right? What about the findings and the finders, investigation done by the FBI? What they find out? Oh, that there was that wasn't a sex cult. There was no child sex trafficking going on, and that there was no connection to the CIA. All lies. So now you're expecting the DOJ to tell you the truth? Right? I told you everything that happened in this when I went on Jimmy Dore's live show almost 2 years ago, when I told you that Carter Page was put on Trump's transition team because the FBI could get a warrant on him. He was part of Clinton's transition team back when Bill Clinton got into office. And that they used Stephen Helper as a fucking spook to entrap Papadopoulos into fucking meeting with the Russians. And what do we know about this whole fucking meeting where fucking General Flynn meets with the Russians? He met with the Russians because fucking Jared Kushner asked him to on behalf of Israel because the fucking UN was having a vote on fucking basically the fucking Israel violating Palestinians' fucking human rights. These people are all lying to you. They're spinning it. Hillary did this all before. She funded the whole dozer. They're trying to tell you what they're not telling you is that what they're saying is, yes, the